Good evening and welcome to this special edition of Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Nate Fain. Arizona's summer weather comes with its own challenges. Tonight, we take a look at how crews prepare for the storms as well as how researchers are working to beat the heat.
Today has been the hottest day of 2018 so far. This type of heat is not just dangerous, it could be deadly. We are facing an excessive heat warning for much of the state. As Emily Richardson reports, here in the Valley, volunteers are doing what they can to keep everyone safe.
I'm in Phoenix at a Salvation Army heat center where they provide water and air conditioning to people during extreme heat warnings.
We get a smile from the people we serve, whether it's passing out water or doing some of the other volunteer work that we do. It's a great reward, and it just helps us. It encourages us to continue to volunteer.
Joe Manfreda has been volunteering with the Arizona Salvation Army for more than 6 years. He says sitting in the heat is worth helping others.
It's a bit uncomfortable, but 3 hours is about enough. We don't want to do much more than that, but we survive, and it's worth it.
On top of having heat relief stations at their locations around the valley, they also dispatch mobile hydration units to portions of Metro Phoenix with high populations of homeless individuals.
Well, we want people to make sure that they stay healthy, that they don't have any heat-related illnesses or challenges.
But we know this is a necessary thing to do to get people water.
They say that even on days when they don't have heat centers set up, you can stop by their locations for water. In Phoenix, Emily Richardson, Cronkite News.
Thunderstorms, high winds, or a wall of dirt can easily snap power poles, causing outages. Cronkite News reporter Nicole Hernandez received a hands-on lesson about what it takes to get the power back up.
APS says summer is their busiest season because of high power usage and destructive weather conditions, but they have a team of about 150 linemen ready 24/7 to keep power flowing in Phoenix.
As reliable as our system is, things do happen, and that's what we're there to fix it.
Things like high winds, lightning, and even loose umbrellas can disrupt the power. So APS spends months preparing for monsoon season.
We go through preparing how we can do things better, how we can better notify the public, gearing up for material-wise for storms that knock down poles, wires.
But they say there are some things you can do to help protect the power lines.
Securing your umbrellas. We've actually had quite a few of those blow up into our lines and cause outages. And on the safety side, if you ever do come across lines that are down from a monsoon, you want to make sure that you stay away from them. Call 911, call us, we'll come out and make sure that it's safe.
Now, linemen make this look easy. They do it every day, but there are no rungs on the pole to help them climb. So they have these harnesses to keep them safe.
One thing to remember is when we do have these outages, that our guys are working incredibly long hours in really hot conditions.
Last summer, there were 38,000 crew calls and 207 poles had to be replaced.
When we're talking about monsoons, it doesn't matter if it's brand new equipment or old equipment. I'm going to tell you what, if they're going to knock a line down, they're going to knock a line down.
APS wants to remind residents to be prepared for any outages by always having emergency food and water available. In Phoenix, Nicole Hernandez, Cronkite News.
SRP sent teams to Puerto Rico to help with power restoration after Hurricane Maria. Crew members shared what they learned on the island with reporter Emily Richardson.
Members of SRP say that the restoration plan in Puerto Rico was substantially larger than anything they've had to do in Arizona. However, they say the job taught them a lot.
It was mind-blowing in a lot of ways in terms of just the level of destruction that had been wrought to the system, and where do you begin?
SRP sent Rick Hudson to Puerto Rico twice to help with restoration. His first trip was in December, meaning he missed Christmas with his family.
My kids are older. They're not as young. I do have several new grandchildren. I thought it was really important in looking at them and their situation, how well they have it here, that I should probably give something back.
SRP spent 4 months helping in Puerto Rico, and they say when they left, they had restored power to 98% of their customers.
You take small steps. You start creating a plan and getting things going and recognize you're going to get help.
They also learned that everyone should have a plan for if their power is out for extended amounts of time.
Just making sure everybody is on the same page in the household and knowing, kind of planning through what would happen if the lights were out at our house for, say, 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. What would be their natural reaction, and what things would they do?
But they didn't just learn about restoration. They learned about compassion too.
When you restore someone to power, when they've been out for months, and to see their emotion. Initially, they're clapping and really happy, but to see their tears of joy when they recognize what that means for them. I mean, it's incredible.
SRP says they are prepared for any restoration efforts they may need to accomplish during the 2018 monsoon season. In the broadcast center, Emily Richardson, Cronkite News.
With rising temperatures, everyone needs a way to stay out of the heat, even the animals at the Phoenix Zoo. Today, I saw how the zookeepers keep everyone cool.
We really specialize in animals that can tolerate the hotter temperatures here in Phoenix. It heats up in the summertime. That's nothing new for us. Our animals are used to it as well.
Animals get to cool down before it gets hot.
First thing in the morning, several exhibits will be watered down through a sprinkling system. Obviously, we always have lots of shade structures as well.
Each animal gets different treats that they enjoy during the summer. Asian elephants, just like Sheena back here, enjoy getting water sprayed on them so that they can keep their cool in the Arizona heat.
We'll hose them down a lot throughout the day if they're warm. We bring them inside and give them showers every day, and we also give them frozen treats like giant popsicles or frozen melons.
While the elephants enjoy their shower, tigers enjoy ice treats. From elephants and tortoises to monkeys and orangutans, everyone is included.
It's awesome to give them things like ice treats and stuff in the dead of summer because it's a reward just like it is a kid getting a popsicle in summer. It's awesome, it's refreshing, it's sweet, and it's something that's always wonderful for them to get. Probably made out of a bunch of different flavors of Gatorade. So the one that Michael is currently mowing down on looks like it is a little bit of lemon in the center, probably like a lemon Gatorade, a fruit punch on the end, and then grape on the other side.
The Phoenix Zoo encourages people to visit before the hottest parts of the day.
It's our slow season. We adjust our hours. We're only open from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. We want our guests as well as our animals to be comfortable.
Well, air pollution is primarily invisible day to day,
but its health effects can take years off our lives. Allison Snell looks at a new report on the air quality in our state and in Maricopa County.
The Environment Arizona shows that there was more than 100 days of unhealthy air quality in the Phoenix metro area back in 2016.
We need to move towards clean, renewable energy like wind and solar power.
Chrissy Levitt is the director for Environment Arizona, and she fights for cleaner air.
And this pollution that folks are breathing increases the risk of premature death, asthma attacks, and other health problems.
Environment Arizona released a new report today showing the pollution levels across the country and here in Arizona.
We looked at smog and fine particulate matter. This pollution comes from burning fossil fuels like coal.
The report also looked at what dirty air means for our health.
Similar to a sunburn in the lungs, and it causes respiratory problems.
4.6 million people in the Phoenix area alone have faced 110 days of degraded air quality, which can lead to health effects, including asthma.
A lot of that comes from combustion from driving cars and trucks. We can make an impact on these issues by moving towards clean, renewable energy.
Today in Phoenix, the ozone levels hit 101, which means unhealthy for sensitive groups. If you suffer from health issues, do your best to limit your time outdoors. In downtown Phoenix, Allison Snell, Cronkite News.
Arizona is heating up, and those hot temps means parents need to take precautions. Allison Snell tells us what she learned to make sure kids stay safe this summer.
The Phoenix Fire Department is stressing to parents the importance of being proactive.
Take some precautions so that their children can enjoy the out of doors without the out of doors causing them harm.
According to the Arizona Department of Health Services, The heat kills an average of 118 people a year in Arizona alone.
It's important to realize that when children are out playing, they're only thinking about playing and having a good time, and they're not really considering the effects of being out in the sun and dehydration.
There are more ways than one for parents to help their kids beat dehydration.
Fruit is another way that they can supplement getting them to drink water or sports drinks to keep them hydrated.
A lack of water isn't the only thing that can put your child in harm's way.
At the playground, before you allow your children to go out onto the playground and play, the caregivers or parents should check the equipment. You should walk up and touch it and make sure that it's not too hot.
We tested a picnic table that was mostly in the shade, and the temperature still hit 129 degrees. That high temperature is a reminder that when you're heading home from the day outside, the inside of your car has been heating up.
And some shade screens for your windshield of your car. If you're transporting your children in a car seat, that when you take them out to go play, that to avoid the buckles getting too hot, because these have metal buckles, and even in the shade, these can get up to 130 degrees. So what we recommend is that you just throw a towel over it.
Summer is a great time to go swimming, but there are some precautions you should take before getting into the pool. Reporter Amanda Mason takes us on a ride along with the Maricopa County Environmental Services Department.
Now, invisible bacteria and parasites can be lurking in the water. So how do you know if a pool is safe to swim in? Well, the CDC reported that 1 in 8 pools had problems so serious the pool had to be closed immediately. But there are a few steps you can take to make sure you and your family are safe. During the week, environmental health specialist Kelly Alderman inspects pools all around Maricopa County.
If your skimmers aren't working, then you're still swimming in that floating substance.
The inspection is more than just testing the water. Alderman is checking water flow, main drains, the surface of the pool floor, integrity and size of the gates, and the pump valves.
If someone accidentally leaves the vacuum valve open, you've got suction. It's a very powerful suction, like it will suck your hand in there.
Experts say that one way you can keep you and your family healthy is by taking a shower before and after you get in the pool. One of the common parasites found in pools is called Cryptosporidium, and it can survive around 10 days in chlorine-treated pools and is hard to test for.
So crypto can be incredibly contagious. You only need a few particles of disease to make you sick. So it can be easy for people to catch, but not necessarily easy to detect in pools because it only needs a few particles. So if you sample in one area of a pool, you might not pick it up, but you might find it in a different area of a swimming pool or recreational body of water.
Crypto is from fecal matter that gets into the pool. Experts say if you feel sick, don't go swimming for 2 weeks.
The way you get these waterborne diseases is by ingesting them or swallowing them. So it's really important when you're swimming that you don't swallow any water. You remind your kids that water is not for drinking. If it's pool water, that's why they have a bottle of water next to them to stay hydrated.
For parents with babies, health specialists say change their diapers away from the pool and wash your hands before you get in. Experts recommend that you check the pool before you get in it. For example, is the water clean? Can you see the bottom of the pool? You can also check the Maricopa County Inspections website to see if your local pool passed inspection. In the broadcast center, Amanda Mason, Cronkite News.
I'm Ted Simons, host and managing editor of Arizona Horizon. The 2018 election season has arrived. Join us for primary and general election debates. Right here, meet the candidates and hear their positions. Arizona Horizon, your source for what matters most this election season. Only on Arizona PBS.
Summer means it's scorpion season and the populations increase because of the warm weather.
Reporter Amanda Mason is in the studio with us to share her behind-the-scenes experience meeting these creatures up close in the desert.
Regional parks around the state offer a unique experience to safely learn and search for these creatures in their natural habitat. As the sun goes down, scorpions come out to hunt. Twice a month, Santan Mountain Regional Park offers an educational experience to learn about these 8-legged creatures and meet them face-to-face on a scorpion search walk. Interpretive ranger Nikki Bennell has been teaching the scorpion classes for a year and a half.
Well, when I first started learning about them, I thought it was fascinating that the mother scorpion can give live birth to maybe 20 to 30 babies, and they all ride on her back.
During the hike, families use a black light to illuminate the scorpions. 30 different species of scorpions live here in Arizona, and they like to live in holes just like this one. Ellison Locke says this is her first scorpion search walk.
A month ago, my dad told me about it, and then I was looking forward to it the whole month, and then today, here I am.
Locke says she's not afraid of scorpions.
Just have to be careful with them, and they won't hurt you, but if you mess with them, they'll hurt you, but you just have to kind of go with them.
It's totally safe to hike at night here. The scorpions aren't going to come charging at you. The main goal is don't stick your hands or feet in any kind of holes or in places that you can't see.
This is one place you don't want to wear flip-flops. Benell says to take precautions and watch where you walk because a scorpion stinger can puncture through your shoe. Now, these events are free, and you just have to pay for entrance into the park. The workshop starts at 7 p.m., and the hike is from 8 to 9 p.m. The next scorpion search is on June 1st at Cave Creek Regional Park. In the broadcast center, Amanda Mason, Cronkite News.
Starting today, the Mesa Hydration Donation Campaign is collecting water bottles to keep people in need hydrated. Reporter Nicole Hernandez was in Mesa to tell us about the water donations taking place this summer.
United Food Bank unloaded 2 semi-trucks full of water into their warehouse to kick off Mesa's annual water drive, but that's just the beginning of a summer full of donations.
Community members in Mesa are rallying to collect water for those who struggle to find it during these hot months. Eagle Scout Chandler Cleese understands the importance of the drive and helps collect thousands of water bottles last year.
There's people every year who are dehydrated and then end up dying because of it, because of the lack of water that they don't have.
The city of Mesa teamed up with United Food Bank to collect and distribute water bottles to people across the valley.
Now, this is the 12th annual Mesa Hydration Donation Campaign, and their goal is 500,000 water bottles, and that equates to about 21,000 of these cases.
As you know, food and water donations are down in the summertime, and so this really helps to support that effort.
Donations come from willing community members and larger companies in the valley. There are several donation drop-off locations around Mesa, including the main library and Mesa Community College.
It gives me like a good feeling inside, and it makes me happy to see that I could do so much for the community and help people out.
The campaign still needs about 400,000 water bottles to reach their goal by the end of the summer. In Phoenix, Nicole Hernandez, Cronkite News.
The temperatures aren't the only thing rising in Arizona, so are the chances of your child getting heat stroke if left in a parked car. Reporter Emily Richardson spoke with a Phoenix father who created an app in hopes of preventing any more children from dying in hot cars.
Aaron O'Connor says he created the Backseat app because he was tired of reading stories where children died after being left in hot cars.
And if I can save a baby from, kidney failure, lung problems, severe brain damage, or death, then that's the goal.
According to NoHeatStroke.org, Arizona is 4th in the country for number of pediatric vehicular heat stroke deaths. In July of 2017, 2 Phoenix children died in hot cars, only 1 day apart. And for Aaron O'Connor, that was the last straw.
It's always just personally, deeply, deeply bothered me. And last July, I thought, enough is enough. There's got to be something that can be done.
He began working to create an app making it near impossible for a child to be in a car long enough to create health issues. The app starts itself when it detects a speed of 20 miles per hour, but stays dormant until the car has stopped for more than 3 minutes. It sends the initial alert reminding the parents that they have a child in their car. If that notification goes ignored, 3 minutes later, the app will start a rapid-fire alert system. Roughly 5 minutes later, the phone will override vibrate mode and go fully autonomous, getting louder every minute on the minute until finally it alerts 3 designated safety nets where the car is so they can get help.
The other systems on the market have alerting systems to the user, but when those fail, we end up having a news story.
Ariana Medell was a part of a research project evaluating the impact of solar radiation on children inside cars and found that kids' core temperatures reach lethal levels relatively quick.
Over 50% of the cases of kids that die from hypothermia or heat stroke, they were forgotten in the car by parents for an extended period of time. So even if your car is parked in the shade, your kid will die within 2 or 3 hours.
The app is free, and since creating it, O'Connor has had multiple countries ask him to extend availability to them. In downtown Phoenix, Emily Richardson, Cronkite News.
Today is the official start of the monsoon season, and there's actually rain in the forecast.
Jordan Daphnis met with officials to find out what they're doing to prepare and how you can help.
Just 6 inches of water can reach most passenger cars, causing stalling and loss of control. Double this amount, and most vehicles can float. And if that water's moving fast, you're in trouble. You've heard the message before,
Don't cross the barricades if you see swift water.
but we'll repeat it again.
Whether there's a barricade there or not, if you see a road that's been flooded out, don't go across.
Because it happens every year, and law enforcement wants you to be safe and stay away from flooded roads.
What people don't realize is that though we live in a desert and it's real dry, all it takes is a couple inches of rain to create some flooded washes. And when that happens, it's a real dangerous event.
Annually, we do swift water rescue training with the fire department to refresh our practices with swift water rescue. So in the event that somebody gets stranded either in a car or in a mobile home or something around a wash or swift water, we'll have the ability to fly in and extract them from wherever they're at.
Arizona Department of Transportation advises you to
Turn around, don't drown.
so that you don't find yourself needing a swift water rescue. ADOT also wants people to stop littering on valley freeways.
There can be a problem with litter that gathers along freeways, and it has to make its way somewhere. Sometimes it's into the drainage system.
Now it's litter like this that ends up on valley freeways like the one behind me and causes buildup and blockage so water can't be removed.
This becomes a monsoon mess.
The trash ends up at the bottom of one of Arizona's 59 pump station storage wells. The pump stations are used to remove large amounts of water from valley freeways. When working correctly, they can lift more than 12,000 gallons of water per minute. But if trash is clogging the well, the Arizona Department of Transportation has to haul it out before a storm, or streets are left soaked and dangerous.
Really think about what you're doing before you throw that cup out the window, before you load up the back of that pickup truck with debris that then winds up flying out along the freeway.
Rain is not the only safety concern for drivers during monsoon season. Dust storms are also high risk, and ADOT wants drivers to pull aside and stay alive.
The biggest thing during monsoon season and dust storms is don't drive into them. You know, visibility can get down to 0. You can't see where you're going, and everyone else on the roadway is driving blind too.
Also be on the lookout for downed power lines. If you see one, stay away, call 911. In the downtown Phoenix, Jordan Daphnis, Cronkite News.
It's early June and already Phoenix has hit 110 degrees. If you think it's not getting much cooler at night in the city, you're right. That's due in part to the urban heat island effect. Reporter Amanda Mason explains the science and what communities are doing to reduce the heat this summer.
The urban heat island effect happens in cities around the world, where the metropolitan areas are hotter than the surrounding rural areas.
It's a result of the built-up area of cities that's constituted by buildings, by roads and other hard surfaces. This absorbs heat during the day when there's sunlight, and at night it releases that heat as radiant heat.
The temperatures overnight have raised upwards of 9 degrees over the last 20 years. So we're just now, if it goes up that high at nighttime, it doesn't cool as we're used to in the mornings when we get up to start the day.
In an effort to reduce heat, the city of Phoenix planted 3,000 trees.
When people are walking to our light rail, people are enjoying our downtown festivities, the trees will represent some respite for them along the way, cooling the environment, allowing them to have a good time even if it's 110 degrees outside.
Strategies to reduce heat are unique to each area. With the help of the Sustainable Cities Network, cities share the results with each other to find the best approach. One of the things being considered is how asphalt materials impact heat absorption. Even the color of the streets could make a difference.
It hasn't reached the materials lab as yet in terms of doing any testing. There's a lot of factors going into it, a lot of study has to take place because whatever we do in this city costs money, and we have to make sure that we're responsible. It's more than just a matter of painting a street white. I think there's issues of how long is it going to stay white. Here with the heat and the traffic, it'll pretty quickly, I think, start to turn black. And then what do you do with it after that?
In Phoenix, Amanda Mason, Cronkite News.
For families with a child diagnosed with neurological disorders, a day out at the lake can be challenging. But as reporter Nicole Hernandez shows us, Barrow Neurological Institute is helping to make water sports a reality, at least for a few days.
More than 100 volunteers were on the docks helping people with neurological or physical disabilities participate in water sports.
It feels exhilarating. It just feels nice to kind of have the wind on your face and not for a second have kind of the confines of the wheelchair.
And despite their physical challenges, almost everyone was riding wave after wave after wave with determination.
I'm one of the neurosurgeons at the Barrow, and so many of my patients have been out here, and it's just really meaningful for me to watch them recover after rehab, and getting out here, it makes it all worthwhile.
Today's participants have over a half dozen choices of water sports, including kayaking, water skiing, and adaptive surfing.
You swing, I swing.
These programs are life-changing. The families get to play together. They're taking a break from going to the hospital, or sitting in waiting rooms for therapy.
This is the 22nd year the Barrow Neurological Institute has hosted the event at Bartlett Lake, giving hope and happiness to hundreds of families.
I just find it kind of as that peaceful moment where everything's just kind of silent and calm.
On Bartlett Lake, Nicole Hernandez, Cronkite News.
Thanks for joining us for this special edition of Cronkite News. For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.